But the street names were named Choctaw, uh, Chickasaw. I'm like, Choctaw? Wait a minute. But I was like, there wasn't an Indian in sight. This was a, a white area, basically. I didn't see not a near Indian, but their street names are named after Native Americans. I said, ain't that about something? Mm-hmm. Yeah. The reconstruction of Indian trails. Okay, and it says injured surveyor, Cleveland's survey of the Western Reserve. You see how they spelled Cleveland back in the day? So they basically just took the A out. It's just crazy how they change things and think by one letter, or even, you know what I'm saying, changing around a word that we won't recognize. Mm-hmm. These are all places like I've been past or been to and didn't even know that that's what I was passing. This is like Zanesville. It's just crazy. Pontiac. There's a few streets that's named Pontiac in Columbus, Ohio. They also show where I think in was it Chillicothe? The Shawnee Tribe was a big tribe in Ohio. Around, I don't know if it was a Chillicothe, the Circleville area, I'm not sure. But the only reason why I'm looking in this book is because I'm trying to find the tribe that I descend from on my mother's side, because I believe that my great-grandparents and my grandparents and were born somewhere either in Ohio or either in Illinois or Indiana. And if you did research on Ohio before it became Ohio, Ohio was a part of Indiana and Illinois. It didn't get established. The state wasn't recognized as Ohio until like the early 1800s, I want to say. And then the first city that was established was Cincinnati. So before the 1800s and the 17th century or whatever, yes, Ohio was a part of Indiana and Illinois. And that was native territory. So, friend or foe? Now, see, in some of these pictures, they show how they did befriend some of the natives or whatever, you know, the pioneers and everything, and some became part of the tribe. But then there was other tribes that had captured pioneers as prisoners, murdered. You know, they did fight back. A lot of people say, well, why didn't they fight back? Oh, no, 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 no. A lot of them fought back and a lot of them didn't. But remember when I told you it was a lot of different tribes. We weren't all from the same tribe. It was a lot of different tribes, and a lot of them fought back and then a lot of them didn't. So in Port Clinton. So The river trail. And this is where I'm from, crossing the Tuscaroras. The Tuscaroras, we call that East Tusk or Tusk. And the trail swung to the northwest over hills that still are primitive to Navarre. This is where my family lives right now. From this point, it led north on the present highway, US 21, along the eastern levels to where Maslin now stands. It then follows closely the eastern bluffs of narrowing the Tuscaroras crossings the bend of, at Crystal Springs, and led somewhat westerly. But this is the part where I'm from. Because like I said, Tuscaroras is the main street that runs through Canton, Ohio and Maslin, Ohio. And I'm pretty sure it runs through another part of Ohio. I'm not sure. I never drove, from one end to the other. Over Hamaki land to Mesilla. Now that's crazy because there is a park in Canton, Ohio called Mesilla Park. A lot of my people, my Facebook friends, a lot of people I grew up with will know what, Mesilla Park is. So that makes a lot of sense. Oh boy, and this is the missionary. So of course, this is the white man preaching Christianity to the Native Americans. This is how they got us with the Christianity and the worship Jesus Christ. Yep. Just like I said, they show in their lies or in, all their contradictory, they show the truth. That's crazy. That's what I said. All of Ohio was inhabited by nothing but copper-colored, dark skin, native. Not we all say Native Americans today, but I say Aboriginals. Aboriginals. The Tuscaroras Trail, Salt Springs Trail. My mom would probably recognize this because a lot of her adopted family, Big Sandy, about 3 miles west of Malvern, Ohio. They have a lot of relatives there, Alliance, all these places that I know from when I grew up in Canton. Look at that. If you're from Ohio, this is some very vital information, I'm telling you. I always tell people to please go back to the state that you were born in. A lot of people say, oh, well, you got to go from where you originated from. Well, you don't know where you originated from. All you know where you was born. So start there. Start from the state, the city, the county, all that stuff you were born in, and branch out. Go from there. Start with you, then your parents, then your grandparents, and your great-grandparents, and what states they were born in and when they were born, and go back as far as you can. The Mingo Trail. You see that? Mention West Virginia. They mention Detroit a lot. They mention Pennsylvania. They mention West Virginia. So all these trails, how everybody think it's far to drive to West Virginia and Virginia and everything like that. These were trails that people were traveling to get from state to state before they became states. These trails in Ohio were very vital to Aboriginal travels. Wow. The Trail of Revenge. So this is the white man coming in to do what he does best. The Ultimatum of Chief Logan. Interesting. Like I said, we do have Indian mounds here in Ohio. And I'm going to do research. Remember when I said Detroit? Remember I said how they're mentioning all these places and stuff like that? You say, what does Detroit have to do with Ohio? Not everything. I drive. It only takes 3 hours on the freeway to get from Columbus to Detroit. Cuyahoga Trail. If anybody's from Cleveland, they know what the Cuyahoga War Trail is. I'm telling you, Ohio is a very vital part of history, especially when it comes to the state, the states and colonialism and all that, It really is. So this is kind of a long video. It's about 26 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end on this note. Just do your research. Do your research. All these videos that are coming out, with the people and everything. I love the videos. I love the information because it also gives me something to go. They give me a lot of interesting things, facts, and opinions to look up. And I love it. I do. So that's why I just said keep doing your research. And even though people say, the books that the Europeans wrote, they lies and everything, they sure are. They sure are. But like I said, in those books and in those lies, they always reveal the truth and they just don't know it. So still, read those books. Read those books. Nothing wrong with it. You really want to know, put in the time. Put in the work. Just like Dane Calloway said, put in the work. Stop going to Google. Stop just using Google and stop just using YouTube. Do it all. Because anything they say, I still look up. Anything that Dane Calloway says, I look up to make sure what he's saying and if is true. And then when I look it up, there it is. There it is. So, I thank you guys. And I will upload part 3. And because, like I said, this is a 3rd edition book. This is just one book. And they have 3 of them. So, once I get the the 2nd edition, then I will do part 3. Okay? So peace and blessings, and you guys have a wonderful day.